My name is Michelle, and I would like to welcome you to the YouTube Advent Top. And this scenery just inspires me so much, and as today is December 21st, I just want to show you how you can make a small, simple winter journal. And this is the scenery that inspires me to do this. So what will we need for our small winter journal? An awl, a bone folder, thread and needle, and of course scissors to cut your thread. And we'll also need some gesso. We'll be using a makeup sponge, a stencil of your choice. I have this one I'm going to be using. I'll link it below, or I'll tell you in the description what it is. I'm not really sure. I think it's from Tracy Bautista from Stencil Girl, but I'll link that and I'll let you in on that. And of course, a brush. I have a small flat brush. Whatever you have is fine. It's just to brush on the ink. You'll need ink. I'm using Daler & Rowney. It's acrylic ink, Payne's Gray. And what else do we have? A glue stick, a small spray bottle. If you don't have a spray bottle, you can moisture paper with something else. And I'm also using paper stripes and a small array of papers. And I have already cut these. I'm not sure the size of it, but I'll also write that down. You'll see it in the description below, or right here. And I just have an array of different papers that are in here, and this is a sketchbook paper. It's a bit thicker. I'll also tell you what I'm using there, and yeah, that's all we'll need. I'm just putting something on my desk down here, so I usually get it messy, and it gets messier as time goes by. Yeah, but put something on your desk if you want to, so you won't messy it up. Let's get started. So I just want to show you we're just going to be doing the first page, the front and back cover. And you can play with your journal pages the way you want to. And I'm going to set that aside. And what I want is, by using the gesso, just making, you can also use white paint, but the gesso is much, much more effective. And I just want to have a slight hint of that stencil on there, and I'm just using my gesso, pouring it onto something, and using the makeup sponge gently. It's hard to see here, but gently putting it on. And don't use too much. It's a bit tricky, but the gesso is a bit thicker than the white paint, and this isn't going to be perfect. But if you know me, I'm not for perfection. That's what I think art is all about the unperfect moments in life, and those are the most precious. So let's put that on. So just adding a bit of gesso, and there you go. It's very delicate. Let's put that aside to dry. So now that it is completely dry, I'm not sure if you can see that beautiful mark making there. And what we want to do now is moisten the paper, and like I say, I'm using a spray bottle, but you can also brush on water. And now you can see that delicate stencil, those stencil marks, and just let that water seep in a bit. And using our acrylic ink, and what I like to do, I like to spread it out from the center Oh, there you go, not much in there. And it's gonna wet the brush so that it's a bit moist also. And delicately spread that ink. So I'm going to let that dry, and it's going to be a bit lighter when it dries, so I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to go for a second coat, and then we'll come back to it. So this is what mine looks like after the second coat, and I just love the darkness. It's not too dark, it's not too light, and it reminds me of winter. This is going to be my wintertime journal. And the rest of the papers that I have, yeah, I like that. They're a bit too big, but that's me. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I go for unperfection. Imperfect is mine. And I thought it would be really nice to add some paper stripes. And this is a winter scenery of some kind. There are little snowflakes in there, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go for a couple of those stripes. Just go for whatever your heart is calling for. Yes, I like that. And I think I'm gonna use this as the front side. And now I'm gonna hop on over to the sewing machine and just do a bit of stitching. I just stitched around it, and I just used that pink thread of mine because I think it goes very well. It looks kind of like one of those cold winter days at the lake when the sun is setting. And very simple binding. And I'm just using a good length of thread. And if it's too long, that's okay. I'll be using it somewhere. And I'm not using a knot. And I'm sure you know how to bind just a simple binding. We're gonna go approximately the middle. And what I like to do right after I use that all, I like to go through with a needle. And there we go. And let's punch the second hole. I always like to fold it a bit so that we're in the middle. And go back to the other side. Punch another hole. Watch out for your fingers. You can do any kind of binding that you like. This is very simple, very easy, and I'm just using regular thread. It's not cotton thread, I think it's polyester thread. And we're going right back there, right through there again. There we go. I have a different hole there. And now that you have the thread on the inside, and I'm gonna just use the knot. So simple as that. A small winter journal for those cold winter days, or wherever you are. Maybe you don't have cold winter days, but we do. And wishing you all the best for the festive holidays, and stay well, take care. Bye-bye.